Hello and welcome to Stagecoach Player's virtual cabaret series, At the Movies. I'm Ryan Morton. Today, our episode 7, focuses on movies brought to you by Walt Disney. Decades of Disney. We go back 9 decades and bring you a song from each one of them to kind of show you the evolution, but also a trip down memory lane to some of the greatest movie musicals that we've ever had. I mentioned that in our last episode that say what you will about Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, all of those live-action movie musicals, or the adaptations of musicals from Broadway to the screen, Disney has been producing amazing movie musicals, many of them in animated form, for 9 decades. So let's go through those. Like I said, starting in 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Hannah Wood singing Someday My Prince Will Come.
When a star is born, they possess a gift or two. One of them is this: they have the power to make a wish come true. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star as dreamers do, fate is kind. A bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come
In 1940, just a few years after Snow White was released, Pinocchio came out, and it featured perhaps the signature song of the Disney Corporation, When You Wish Upon a Star, sung there by Jeff Little. Now let's skip to our third decade. We'll go forward a full 10 years to 1950, when we see our second Disney princess, Cinderella, in her title film. Now this movie featured a lot of classic songs, for instance, Cinderella, Cinderella, and A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. Or, I'm gonna screw up these lyrics, Salagadoola, mitsity boola, bibbity bobbity boo. Put them together and what have you got? Bibbity bobbity boo. Mostly, those were the lyrics. Lots of great songs, but the real signature, I think, of Cinderella as the Disney film is how it spawned so many copycats or attempts to redo it. For instance, you have just coming up, actually it was scheduled, I believe, to open this year or in 2021, we'll see what happens now, but Andrew Lloyd Webber has an adaptation of Cinderella that he's going to try and put on the West End stage and then make it to Broadway. Perhaps the most celebrated of those screen-to-stage adaptations is actually one that didn't have anything to do with Disney, but it was Rodgers and Hammerstein's film for TV in 1957, starring Julie Andrews. And that is why we're going to bring you this song. So it's not exactly a Disney song, but it is inspired by Disney's telling of this story. From the 1957 Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, here is Stepsister's Lament, sung by mother and daughter Deb Brubaker and Laurie Williams.
Why should a fella want a girl like her, a frail and fluffy beauty? Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a solid girl like me?
She's a frothy little bubble with a flimsy kind of charm, and with very little trouble I could break her little arm.
Oh, why would a fellow want a girl like her, so obviously unusual? Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a usual girl like me?
Her cheeks are a pretty shade of pink, but not any pinker than a rose is.
Her skin may be delicate and soft, but not any softer than a dose's.
Her neck is no wider than a swan's.
She's only as dainty as a daisy.
She's only as graceful as a bird. So why is the fella going crazy? Oh, why would a fella want a girl like her? A girl who's merely lovely. Why can't a fellow ever once prefer a girl who's merely me? What's the matter with the man? What's the matter with the man? What's the matter with the man?
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean those bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes, the simple bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the trees, they're making honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants, maybe try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. Look for those bare necessities, those simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean those bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes, the simple bare necessities of life. Now when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear, and you prick your raw paw, well, next time beware. Don't pick the prickly pear with the paw. When you pick a pear, try to use the claw. But you don't have to use the claw when you pick the pear of the big pawpaw. Have I given you a clue? The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. So just remember,
Look for the bare necessities. The simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean those bare necessities. Old Mother Nature's recipes. The simple bare necessities of life. Stay safe, everyone.
From 1967's The Jungle Book, that was the bare necessities originally performed by Phil Harris, but sung for Stagecoach Players by Andy Small. Now, the 1960s as a decade in Disney were probably known best for the collaborations of the Sherman Brothers, most famously in Mary Poppins, but a lot of the music that came from the 1960s was produced by Richard and Robert Sherman. They did the music for The Jungle Book. However, that song, The Bare Necessities, was actually written by Terry Gilkyson, not by the Sherman Brothers. They did all of the rest from that movie. Incidentally, in 1970, they were going to do the Aristocats, the Sherman Brothers were. They ended up leaving. They didn't like the direction Disney was going at that time, with many years now after Walt had died. Their song Scales and Arpeggios, that was kept in the Aristocats, but all the other songs came from other composers, including Terry Gilkyson, who wrote Thomas O'Malley Cat, which was sung by Phil Harris in that movie. Just a way to tie everything together in that span. Sherman Brothers are some of my favorite composers, and actually in 1967, the year of The Jungle Book, another movie came out, a live-action Disney movie, The Happiest Millionaire. It happens to be my favorite of the Disney live-action movies, starring Leslie Ann Warren, Fred McMurray, Tommy Steele, all-star cast, and wonderful music. We don't have that on the list today for you, but I'm hosting the show, so I'm just going to sing one of the songs, because that's what I get to do, unless Courtney cuts me off right here. Fortuosity, that's me byword. Fortuosity, me twinkle in the eye word. Sometimes castles fall to the ground, but that's where four-leaf clovers are found. Fortuosity, lucky chances, fortuitous little happy happenstances. I don't worry, 'cause my philosophy is do your best and leave the rest to fortuosity. That's the Sherman Brothers from 1967. You get a little bonus here for that decade. We'll now move on to the 1970s, actually up to 1977, and this is my second favorite of the live-action Disney movies, but I'm not going to sing for you this time, because we have Nancy Killeen standing by. She is going to do a tribute to the recently passed Helen Reddy, who sang this song in Pete's Dragon, Candle on the Water.
I'll be your candle on the water. My love for you will always burn. I know you're lost and drifting, but the clouds are lifting. Don't give up, you have somewhere to turn. A cold and friendless tide has found you. Don't let the stormy darkness pull you down. I'll paint a ray of hope around you, circling in the air, lighted by our prayer. I'll be your candle on the water. This flame inside of me will grow. Keep holding on, you'll make it. Here's my hand, so take Look for me, reaching out to show, as sure as rivers flow. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
Life's a happy game. You can clown around forever. Neither one receives your natural boundaries. Life's a happy game. If only people would just let you play. You're breaking all our rules. They can't understand your magic wonderland. When you're the best of friends, sharing all that you discover. When you know the past of the precious past, who can say if there's a way? How I hope our love never ends. 'Cause you're the best of friends.
Write what you know, so they say. All I know is I don't know what to write or the right way to write it. This is big, lady, don't screw it up. This is not some little vaudeville I'm reviewing. Poor little kids versus rich, greedy, sour quizzes. Ha! It's a cinch! It could practically write itself, and let's pray it does. 'Cause as I may have mentioned, I have no clue what I'm doing. Am I insane? This is what I've been waiting for. Well, that plus the screaming of 10 angry editors. A girl, it's a girl. How the hell is that even legal? Look, just go and get her. Not only that, there's a story behind the story. Thousands of children exploited, invisible. Speak up, take a stand, and there's someone to write about it. That's how things get better. Give life's little guy some ink, and when it dries, just watch what happens. Those kids will live and breathe right on the page, and once they're center stage, you watch what happens. And who's there with her camera and her pen as boys turn into men? They'll storm the gates and then just watch what happens when they do. Picture a handsome, heroically charismatic, plain-spoken, know-nothing, skirt-chasing, cocky little son of a lie down with dogs, and you wake up with a raise and a promotion. So he's a flirt, a complete egomaniac. The fact is he's also the face of the strike. What a face of facts that could save us all from sinking in the ocean. Like someone said, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power, wait, corrupts. Absolutely, that is genius. But give me some time, I'll be twice as good as that. 6 months from never. Just look around at the world we're inheriting and think of the one we'll create. Their mistake is they got old. That is not a mistake we'll be making. No, sir, we'll stay young forever. Give those kids and me the brand new century and watch what happens. It's David and Goliath, do or die. The fight is on, and I can't watch what happens. But all I know is nothing happens.
just so happens that we just might win. So whatever happens, let's begin.
We're making our way through the decades of Disney, as you've now heard from the 1980s and the 1990s on this week's virtual cabaret series. From 1981, Fox and the Hound, Best of Friends, performed by Kristin, Madden, and Karla Gulke. Not sure if they're best of friends, but sounded great. And then after that, you had Amanda Smothers singing from Newsies, Watch What Happens. Now, Newsies was a movie in 1992 with Alan Menken composing the music, arguably an even more accomplished Disney composer than the Sherman Brothers. You have him doing Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. But he took that movie that flopped at the box office and made it into a stage musical a couple decades later. And Watch What Happens, the song Amanda sang, is from that Broadway musical. That's how we tie it all in here. Now that we're in the 21st century, though, let's keep going. In 2006, we're not actually going to focus on the big screen. We're going to go to the small screen, which we did before when we had that Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella movie. That was also a TV movie. But I don't know that it was quite as popular or the phenomenon that High School Musical became for Disney. And eventually, its second sequel made it to the big screen. That gives you an idea of just how big it was in the early part of this century. So let's hear from Trevor McDonald and Merri Bork, Bop to the Top.
I believe in dreaming, shooting for the stars.
Baby, to be number one, you've got to raise the bar.
Kicking and a scratching, grinding out my best.
Anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
Work
our tails off every day. Gonna blow up the competition, blow them all away. Caliente.
Suave. Yeah, we're gonna
Bop, 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 bop to the top. Slip and slide and ride that rhythm. Jump and hop till we drop and start again. Zip, zap, zap, flop like a mop. Scoot around the corner. Move it to the groove till the music stops. To the bop, 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 to the top. Don't ever stop. Bop to the top. Gimme, gimme, shimmy, shimmy, shake some booty and turn around and around and around and around. Flash and smile in their direction.
show some muscle.
Do the hustle. We'll keep stepping up and we just won't stop to reach the top. Up to the top.
Oh, sometimes I just like to close my eyes and imagine what it'll be like when summer does come. Bees will buzz, kids will blow dandelion fuzz, and I'll be doing whatever snow does in summer. A drink in my hand, I snow up against the burning sand, probably getting a gorgeous tan in summer. I'll finally see a summer breeze blow away a winter storm and find out what happens to solid water when it gets warm. And I can't wait to see what my buddies all think of me. Just imagine how cooler I'll be in summer. Da-da-da-doo. A-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boo. The hot, the cold are both so intense. Put them together, it just makes sense. Ra-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-doo. Winter's a good time to stay in and cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be a happy snowman. When life gets rough, I like to hold on to my dream of relaxing in the summer sun and letting off steam. Oh, the skies will be blue. Oh, and you guys will be there too. When we finally do what frozen things do in summer. summer. Brr.
From 2013's mega hit Frozen, that was Todd Pope singing In Summer. That's it and that's all. We've covered all of the completed decades of Disney from 1937 to 2013. We've got them all for you. And actually, we go all the way up to 2019 because last year there was a remake of the 1940s Disney movie Dumbo, which featured the same song as the original, a revamp, Baby Mine, and Sarah Pajor is singing that right now as I'm speaking. It's lovely. I actually can't hear it right now, but I'm sure it is lovely. If you want to donate to Stagecoach Players and help us out during this difficult time, we know times are difficult for you as well, but if you have any money to spare and would like to donate it to the performing arts, please see the link underneath this video, and also you can go to our webpage, stagecoachplayers.com, and check it out there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and enjoy your time spent with family by Zoom.
Little one, when you play, don't you mind what they say. Let those eyes sparkle and shine, never a tear, baby of mine. For not much, goodness knows.